Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, and welcome to BKS1 Radio, the Our Show. It is your girl, Latoya Chanel, and I am here back in the building in the midst of all the storm outside, but I made it here today. Why? Because I wanted to talk to you all, and what do I want to talk to you all about? The healing journey. Now, you all know that we have been on this healing journey since 2023. And, you know, it's an ongoing journey. It's never ending, right? Because this is the journey that starts within. This is the journey that starts within yourself and making sure that you're making the improvements that you need to make and making sure you're doing the job that you need to do to be the best version of yourself. So that is what we talk about here. And all of my guests that come on, that's what we talk about here all the time. So it's not going to stop tonight just because of the rain. We are going to keep grinding it out, and we're going to make it happen, because you know what? While I'm healing, my hope is that you all are healing as well. So come along with this healing journey with me. There. It's the rain, y'all. But in the meantime, I have an amazing guest who is in the building with me tonight, who is in the studio with me tonight. And we are just going to be talking about some of her latest accomplishments that I'm so upset that I missed. One of the main ones. But everybody, please help me and welcome Dr. DARACELLA SESSOMES to the studio. Move on over here. There we go. Dr. DARACELLA SESSOMES back into the studio with me. You have been here a couple times before. A couple times before.
I'm family now.
You are family. You have been family. You were family from the moment you walked in and we started talking. We connected. So welcome back.
Thank you, sis.
Happy New Year, even though it's March. We've seen each other.
Happy Women's History Month.
Happy Women's History Month, because it is March 5th, everybody. So first and foremost, since you have been here last, there have been so many things that have happened in your life. Please just fill everybody in before we get into our topic.
Okay, so I think the last time I was here was right after the primary election, and I was going into the general election.
Yep.
So newsflash, won the general election.
Hey!
Became elected the first person of color, man or woman, to take the second ward council seat, and I'm very proud of that. It was a hard fight, and I survived. And
you said the first woman of color?
Person of color. Man or woman, yes.
Man, woman. Wow.
To take the second ward seat.
That is awesome.
And, you know, that was a big accomplishment because I put myself out there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm typically try to be a little low key, but when I'm passionate about something and when I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired about something, I will put myself out there to fight. So won that election, was sworn in on January 7th. But prior to that, I received the Urban League of Union County Whitney M. Young Award, which is major for me because Whitney M. Young was a social worker and was the first Black president of the Social Worker Association. I'm so happy about that. I was recently awarded Black Women in Law Enforcement Award through St. Elizabeth College up in Morristown.
Woo. I mean, just throw them all out. Throw them all out.
And the most recent one that I know you know about, and I was so sad you couldn't be there.
That was the one I was supposed to be to, but yeah.
You're going to be sitting right at the table with Mommy. She was ready for you.
Yes.
Was the African American Chamber of Commerce Community Service Award.
Yes.
So
I love that.
God has been so good.
Yes, He is.
God has been so good. If you just stay faithful, stay a humble servant. Do what you know he asked you to do, and I don't always do it. I go sometimes willingly,
we're all human.
fighting.
We're all human, yeah.
and kicking and screaming.
Right.
But just so grateful. I'm appreciative of folks acknowledging the work that I do. It lets me know that I am making a difference.
Right.
But I want to use those awards in that space to uplift somebody else and to pay it forward. So I'm looking at creating my own awards ceremony and figuring out how to give back. How to give back.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you hot off the presses. So and it's not an award ceremony, but this is my little start for acknowledging folks. So March is Women's History Month. So every week I'm going to be bigging up somebody on my social media page.
Nice.
You will be one of them.
I will.
Yes,
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's
of course
sweet.
You
Thank
will.
you. Thank you.
Sisters who
Thank
serve,
you.
sisters who are doing their thing.
Yeah.
You're playing field owned, but your impact is broad and wide. And just, again, the space you've created for me.
Oh, wow.
It cannot go unacknowledged, and I want you to know just how much it means to me that you allowed me to come here and just be genuine.
Yeah.
No fakeness.
Yeah, we don't do fake here,
we don't do
people.
fake here.
We don't
right?
do fake here. Yeah.
Right, just a safe space.
Thank you so much.
I want to
for
big
that.
up you.
Thank
Boom,
you.
hit the boom for yourself. I don't have a boom button, but if I had one, I'd be hitting the boom button.
Thank you so much. No, I really and truly appreciate that. I really, really do. I can't wait. I mean, I know you're going to be doing this each week, but when you start doing those awards, contact me. I would love to be in on that in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Let me know how you're going to set it up. What are the qualifications? What are the standards? How you're going to reach out to people?
Yes.
All of those things.
We want to make it our thing. We want to make it our thing for, playing field. We have some amazing women here that either reside here and serve or don't reside here and serve. So for me, it's all about, do you make the city better?
Right.
Are you helping to try to bring us together, or are you all about the drama and the divisiveness? And so I see your work, and I think, again, the space that you create for people to come in and unpack some things is important. You are doing amazing work. So
thank
boom
you.
yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I would absolutely love to be a part of that. So seriously, please let me know.
I absolutely
please let
will,
me know.
sis.
Yeah, please let me know. All right. So, I mean, we have gone down through a laundry list of accomplishments. Very, very proud of you. I mean, absolutely amazing. And you know what? And I question, do the people of this city know all that you do?
Probably not, because it was interesting during the campaign. Not everybody, but certain people were like, well, who is she? We don't know of her. But I've been working down in Trenton at the state government level for 21 years, and I've been down there, impacting policy, making sure that the people who are marginalized have a voice, making sure that policy is right for communities of color, for those who are, again, are marginalized and oppressed. So you don't always have to be out front be doing the work.
No, you don't.
I'm not one who, is constantly on social media talking about notice me. I believe you should do the work and be humble about it, and God will elevate you.
Absolutely.
So that's why, I was like the low-key quiet candidate, because people are like, where does she come from?
Yeah.
But now I'm here. Now you know.
Yeah, now you know. Now you know. Now just watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch, because she's doing every single thing that she said she was going to do, and there's going to be so much more that's going to be coming.
So much more.
So just sit back and watch. I love that, and I love the whole awards. I love that. I absolutely, the whole event part of me. That's my 9 to 5. So that's my 9 to 5. So I'm already in. Just let me know what you need me to do, how I can serve, and we can go from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can go from there. All right, so let's get into our topic for tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have the exact same conversation that we had right before we started the show about how we got about how we came to the topic. So listen, everybody, tonight's topic is sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Mm-hmm. And how we got to the topic tonight, because I'm going to be very, very honest with you, because I'm always transparent on this show. Tonight is just a completely off night for me. I have 8 million things going on with work, home, and all of these other things. And so I knew Dr. SESSOMES was going to be coming in the building tonight. And I'm like, okay, what are we talking about? How we didn't really format a show, but where are we going to go with it? And you did. Go ahead. You take it from here.
I sent you a text earlier, and I said, this has really been on my mind. So if we can frame a conversation around it, I'd be grateful. Mm-hmm. And what came to mind was this whole concept of sick and tired of being sick and tired. From the late, great Fannie Lou Hamer, my soror, shout out to Delta Sigma Theta, but from her speech on December 20th, 1964 in Harlem with Malcolm X, where she was speaking about, freedom, the Democratic Party and congressional challenges that she was having. And that phrase, sick and tired of being sick and tired, has been synonymous with the political world. Yeah. But I'm talking about sick and tired of being sick and tired of just carrying Black womanhood.
Carrying Black womanhood.
Yes.
Carrying Black womanhood.
Right.
Okay. Let's frame that. Let's frame, and I know this is going to be a very broad and general description, but let's frame historically what Black womanhood entails.
So, historically, we've had to carry so much. We've had to be so much. I actually wrote a piece where I said, Black womanhood, we come from a city called ING, and that's working, mothering, defending, confronting, transporting, fighting, correcting, surviving, and pretending. And so Black womanhood is all of that and how we operate day to day with just being able to be. Like, we just want to be, but in being, there's so much that's associated with that sometimes our other sisters don't understand. And, let's be clear, this is not a conversation to exclude anyone.
No, not at all.
But as a therapist, I typically see Black and brown people, and particularly the people that I do counsel happen to be Black and brown women. And a lot of times they come in to unpack things that happen to Black and brown women that they don't feel like they can unpack with any other therapist. So again, this conversation is not to exclude anybody, but I am focusing on the narratives that they have shared, but that I've also personally experienced. And
absolutely.
You
can't not experience it. Any of those that ING as Black women.
Absolutely. So I just felt like it was time for us to have that conversation because ING is the largest city in the United States, as I phrased it metaphorically, and rest is not a street in that city. And we really need to be able to...
I'm going to just shut my mic off and let you talk. Go ahead.
And we really need to be able to drive up on the rest street and find home and space and safety. And so that's why I really wanted to have a conversation about what does rest look like for us. And as I shared with you, the show before the show, so to speak, I've received a lot of awards and acknowledgments over the last 100 days. My last 100 days have been something that I could have never imagined. But in even receiving all of that, all of those awards, the famous people, the politicians, I was still left empty on certain days. Because those are things, right? Those are things and things that I will honor and cherish.
Great and wonderful accomplishments.
Absolutely. But things don't necessarily fill holes and spaces in your emotions and your mental well-being and your physicalness. And so, someone would probably look at me right now and say, what do you have to complain about? And I'm not complaining. What I'm saying, though, is there are moments where I'm still sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Absolutely.
Because I just want to be.
Yeah.
And I want other sisters to be able to be as well.
And as you mentioned, the last show you were here, we were talking about taking the mask off.
Yes.
And removing the mask and being able to live without that mask on. And sometimes you just don't want to be on.
Yes.
And that was something that we talked about as we, before the show started. I have been in a process of trying to curate my circle so that I don't have to wear that mask. So I don't have to be on in any space. I can be authentically LaToya in any and every space I choose to show up in.
So
You know?
important. And that's where I actually am in my own life. And that is, we make space for everybody else to be their true, authentic self. But oftentimes we don't allow Black women to be their true, authentic self without there being all of these negative stereotypes associated with it. So for me, at the age that I am now, because I celebrated a birthday in January.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's all about the authentic Darcella. Take it or leave it.
That's it.
I'm not code switching for you.
Nope.
I'm not changing my narrative. I'm not going to use
No.
the word Black woman less because you're uncomfortable. Imagine what we feel going through life being a Black woman. And, let's have a conversation about that. So for me, my mental safety and peace has come with acknowledging my need to be my authentic self because suppressing it was unhealthy.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you said that because I know we're going to go into the rest portion of being a woman, being a Black woman in particular. But you said something that is now it's just swirling around in my brain. Safety.
Yes.
Safety. I question, and when you said it, I said to myself, do women of other races in this country feel unsafe? I wonder. And I would have to take a poll, and I would have to just talk to, some of my sisters of, other races and backgrounds. But I wonder if they feel as unsafe as most of us do. And I feel like that safety is always it's always something. It's the feeling of safety that we want, but it's always hidden by something else. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like there are a lot of us that are angry. There are a lot of us that are defensive. There are a lot of us that have these typical Black women issues that unfortunately the myth of us being violent and always fighting is perpetuated in a lot of these reality shows and even some of these other podcasts. You know what I mean? With all of the things that are being said.
Uplifting.
It's not uplifting at all. But I feel like the basis of all of it is because there are so many Black women that don't feel safe.
It's a possibility. I mean, you will act out what you're feeling. So if you're acting out violence, then perhaps you don't feel safe.
You don't feel safe.
And we have to create more spaces for women to feel safe. And quite frankly, that's something that I'm on a mission for the city of Plainfield. And people may say, well, that doesn't impact, poverty and politics. And yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it
because
does,
when our residents and the women here feel good about themselves and they're able to come into their authentic selves, they could become business owners. They might venture out and become homeowners. How they interact with their child's school is going to be different. And so, making sure that they're in that space of safety and wholeness does impact our city.
Yeah, it does.
It does make us better.
Yeah, it
so,
does.
you can't discount it. Now, whether or not the other women feel safe, I think we all share this collective lack of physical safety. Like you go out in certain places, it's dark, whatever, you share that. But I think what women of color tend to have to deal with more that's in jeopardy is their mental and emotional safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because dealing with racism is tough.
Very.
Is tough. It's draining. And the fact that we as women, we as Black women constantly have to be doing the most. And I mean doing the most in a different context of what the young people use doing the most
today.
Yeah. We're always doing something for somebody else and never stopping to take that opportunity to take care of ourselves.
All right, so let's go into more of the rest portion, right?
Right.
So again, I feel like a lot of us probably act out of fear, and not feeling safe. But what about rest?
Right.
What about rest? Doing the most, as like you said, as Black women, we're always doing for everyone else. There's always something that needs to be handled. There's always, I'll fix it, I'll get it, it'll get done. We make sure that things happen. When do we stop?
Well, it
stop?
It can stop.
Sisters of other races stop.
Right. Yes. We have to work on making it stop. But we also have to go back to the historical context of Black women doing the most. So when you think about it, we've been doing the most since day one, since creation. But if you go back to slavery and oppression, going back to the city of ING, sharecropping, cooking, cleaning for master, rearing master's children, serving master. And then when we thought after a 17-hour day we could go lay our heads down and rest, then we were violated by master. And so rest wasn't a safe place for us because here comes master creeping into our slave quarters. And so this goes back, history goes way back. And so as a result, we've developed this disbelief that we don't deserve rest or we can't trust rest. Because think about it. If you're a young person.
Or it's ingrained in you that rest is selfish.
Right. Exactly. But on the trusting of rest, if your rest has been violated, sleep is not something that you look forward to or that you honor.
Right.
And so you pull back and you just begin to continue to do other things. And we have to learn to appreciate rest. Rest does not make you inadequate at all. Right. We have this whole thing about, if we stop doing the most, who's going to take care of it? Guess what? That thing is going to get done.
Oh, it's going to get done.
It's going to get done. It's going to get done. Who's going to take care of it? Or it's not going to be done the way I want it to be done.
The world will keep turning.
Exactly.
The world will keep turning.
But in some spaces, we don't have the privilege to take rest or we don't have the same opportunity to say like others, I'm so overwhelmed. We don't get that.
No, we don't.
We don't get the opportunity in workspaces to say, I'm so overwhelmed. I think that that's going to go over well with employers.
No, it doesn't.
It then becomes a judgment on your performance and on your ability to perform. And nobody wants that. So what happens? We now operate in fear. We checking our phones 24/7. We don't want to miss a meeting. We got to get there first. But we not resting. And our bodies need this rest.
Mental, emotional, and physical. We don't have the privilege of our tears stopping the world. That is not a privilege that we possess. Now, people of other races have that privilege where your tears mean everything needs to stop. We need to revamp. We need to refigure out how to get this done. But for most Black women, your tears don't make a difference.
No, they don't. They're not you're not able to weaponize
No,
them.
you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
You start crying in that CEO meeting, and nobody's rushing over to you to give you tissues.
No. Not only are they not rushing over to give you tissues, they're trying to figure out how to replace you.
Facts.
They're trying to figure out how do I replace her? You're too emotional.
You're
at
unstable.
Work. Yeah.
You're unstable.
You need to work on that.
No, not at all.
You need to work on that. So, no. And then, again, the lack of rest is a lack of safety.
Absolutely.
We are not safe in corporate spaces. A lot of us are not safe in relationships. A lot of us are not safe in friendships, in family. And a lot of us are not in safe enough spaces, like you said, where we can rest. Because you're not trusting rest. Because if you've been violated while you're supposed to be resting, then you learn not to rest, because resting makes you're like a what is it called? What is it called when you're just kind of like out in the open?
A sitting duck?
Yeah, you're a sitting duck.
Right. Waiting.
Rest. Right. Yeah. Rest makes you a sitting duck. It makes you a target. It makes you a victim. So you learn not to you learn not to do that. You stay on this grind. You stay on the go. You stay on at all times because you fear that if you turn it off to rest, then you will become a victim.
Well, let's keep it 100. We know that that's when people plan their plot their attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
They try to get you when you're down, and so your response to that is, I can never be off.
Right.
And no one can operate being on 24/7, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to crash and burn.
You will.
I know it for a fact.
You will crash and burn. There will be areas of your life where even if one area of your life is excelling, there are going to be other areas that are going to be complete and utter crap.
Right. And here's the other thing. I wanted to read some statistics from a fellow clinician. Her name is Adele McKenzie. She's also an LCSW. She said 80% of Black mothers are the primary breadwinners. 36% of Black women workers have jobs that do not provide paid sick leave. Black people are at greater risk for chronic illness as they climb the socioeconomic ladder due to the cumulative stress about worrying about discrimination. And Black women are more likely to be passed over for a promotion and earn 7% less than other women. Essentially, they are being asked to work twice as hard for less pay, all while being microaggressed and emotionally and physically unwell.
You can send that blurb to me.
So you can read it every morning and say, not today.
Yeah, no, you can send that blurb to me. I'm actually going to send that to someone. Seriously, I need you to send that to me. I want to send that to someone because I've been saying that. And the way that you put it is perfect. So
and we don't take our vacation time.
Let me tell you something. Well, all of these things, 2023 completely changed me. 2023 completely changed me. I am the person now, I will walk in that office and cry.
Good.
Never will have done that before. I never even complained. It didn't matter what was going on. Because my job was to just get my job done. Right. I was there to work. I was there to get my job done. I never complained. I never did any of those things. Everything was just always, it doesn't matter. This is just, a roadblock. Just go around it, figure it out, get your job done. Don't complain about anything. Now, took that whole S right on off.
Threw the cape away.
Threw the cape away. Now if something's happening, this is me. Yeah, I don't like that, and I don't think that's going to work for me, and I don't think that's going to take up too much time, and I don't have the capacity for this, and I don't have the bandwidth to do this. And is someone going to help me with this? Because I don't think I can do this on my own.
My new line is, can we talk about my additional compensation for these extra duties?
That part.
Because my intellectual property is valuable.
That too. I did that too, the beginning of this year. All of that. I am not that person anymore. And as far as vacation time, I will take a day. And I am to the point now where I will take a day and say, you know what? I think tomorrow's a mental health day, and I'm just not.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, it is a mental health day for me. I can't do this right now. And so I need to take this because otherwise I'm not going to be any good for anybody.
I know when I've been activated. So, there'll be moments, things will happen at work, and I'll say, you know what, Darcella, I think it's best if tomorrow you just stay home. And it took me a while to get in that space. And so now I will text, my supervisor and say, MH day, mental health day.
Yeah.
And I don't need to, and no one needs to give any other explanation.
You shouldn't have to.
I could say sick time. I could say, vacation
mental health
time.
Day.
But I make it very clear that it's a mental health day because I want you to know that I'm dealing with something.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But if you go back,
and I don't have the bandwidth to be able to deal with that and whatever else you're going to put on me if I come into that office today. It's to a point that I do it so much now that I am telling my VP to do it. We'll be on the phone and I'm like, yeah, girl, I'm not coming in. And I'm like, you know what? And you probably shouldn't go in either because you're dealing with this and you're dealing with that and you need a mental health day. And she'll be like, I know, LaToya, I do. And I'm like, yeah, you should take it.
Sometimes, but in all honesty, though, sometimes you need somebody to say that to you. Because in a way it's giving you permission to know that it's okay.
It's okay.
Not that we should have to do that, but I'm all right with saying, you know what, sis, I think maybe tomorrow you need to stay home, and just have a moment.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
You need
want
that
a gatekeeper for you.
Yeah. I have that. I talk to my cousin who might be watching. We talk every morning. And so, immediately, and we talk on FaceTime because I just talk to everybody on FaceTime. And so we'll look at each other in the morning and go like, And she was like, all right, what's going on with you today? Or I'll look at her and I'm like, all right, what's up with you today? Like, what's going on? Are you okay?
Right.
And it'll be like, or she'll be like, I know you're not going in today after what just happened last night or what happened yesterday.
Right.
And I'll say the same thing to her. And I'm like, no, today's a mental health day, girl. You're not going in. We're not doing this because we're not.
Or having friends or, family members that when they hear it in your voice, they're like, nah, I got to put my eyes on you. My sister is known for that. Shout out to Nicole. But I didn't like how you said that one word. That one word in our 2-hour conversation. She's like, nah, I got to put my eyes on you. So you need a gatekeeper.
This is why I talk to everybody on FaceTime. I need to be able to see people. I talk to literally everyone on FaceTime. If I am talking to you on the phone and it's just a regular phone call, it's just, okay, this is just going to be a quick call. But if we're having a real conversation, I need to be able to look at you. And if we're not in person with each other, I have to be able to look at you. I need to know what's going on. I need to figure out, how are you moving? How are you saying this? What did you look like when you said it? So yeah, I'm always.
And you
that
need
person.
that gatekeeper. I did this for someone a couple weeks ago. I had brought in a journal and I left the journal on their desk, and they sent me an email and they said, "Thank you. I needed that." That's red flag right there. Nobody just said, "I needed that," And so call that person. I said, "Come, let's have a conversation." And they were able to unpack some things. So, you need someone in your life who's going to be a gatekeeper, someone who that you can trust, that can say, you know what, Latoya, you seem a little different
Go
today.
sit down.
What's off? What's off? What's bothering you? Being able to know you well enough to know that something's not right in that moment, and and to not personalize. And a lot of times, again, that comes from, we are just so damn tired. We are mentally exhausted. And I want to say to all the listeners, and I want you to run and tell 5 people, as we say, go run, tell that. Mental exhaustion is not a badge of honor. Mental exhaustion is not a badge of honor.
No, it's not.
In fact, my words, it is a response mechanism to a unicorn named the strong black woman.
Can we talk about the strong black woman narrative?
Can we gonna have to say that for another show when we got more time.
Can we talk about this strong black woman narrative? I'm over it.
Yes.
I'm over it. Even when I listen to old songs and they're like, and they start, in on that part, I refuse to sing those parts anymore.
Yes.
I'm serious. I'm very serious. I am very much over the strong black woman narrative.
Has been so
I don't want to be that.
So damaging to us.
I don't want to be that.
Yeah, I don't. I can't. If I want to live another 50-some years, I can't have that label.
Yeah.
I can't, because it's so damaging, and it causes us to believe that we have to take on so much more. And then again, what gets pushed aside? Rest. The rest.
Where did that come from, though?
Well,
because I have theories.
Okay, well, let's hear your theory.
Everybody's not going to agree with me.
That's okay.
Okay?
That's okay.
My
healthy discourse.
Yes,
Healthy
yes.
Discourse.
My theory is the strong black woman narrative derived during the feminism era.
Okay.
The feminist era.
Okay.
Right? Because the leader of the charge of the feminist era were typically Caucasian women. Because Caucasian women were looking to have more of a voice.
Okay.
And they were looking to do more with their men.
Okay.
And so this strong Rosie the Riveter woman model came from the fact that they have the ability to be soft women. So being a strong woman is the opposite from how they have to live.
Okay.
A lot of them don't have to worry about creating a safe space or being in a safe space or pushing themselves beyond their limit or making decisions out of survival or just trying to figure it out. A lot of women of other races don't necessarily have to do that, but for some reason Black women do. So I feel like during the feminist era, they created this strong woman era because they were able to, because it was the opposite from who they were. And we kind of picked it up with the strong Black woman era
for acceptance.
But it was something that was picked up that we never should have picked up.
Okay.
Because we were already that.
Well, I was going to say let's go back to slavery.
We were already that by default.
Right.
We had already been doing everything. We had already been strong. We've been strong since our men have been pulled from us. We have been strong since our children were pulled from us. We had been strong during any time period of coming into this country. We have already been strong. So we didn't need to prove that we were strong Black women because we already were, just because we were Black.
Right. Right.
You know, we had to be strong when women, during the feminist era, when women were on welfare and men couldn't be in the house. And so you had to do everything on your own, and you had to take care of children on your own. So we were already strong because we were Black. So we didn't need to pick up the narrative of the strong Black woman because it was already there.
Yeah.
We picked up something that wasn't ours.
And then we haven't let it go.
And we haven't
That's
let
the
it
problem.
go.
We haven't let it go.
We haven't let it go.
We need to let it go because it is having a major impact on our health.
Yes.
Our mental health and our physical health.
Yeah.
It leads to the exhaustion and the constant being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, you know, no one should have to live in that constant state of just feeling exhausted.
Yeah.
And, you know, my exhaustion as a Black woman, and again, I'm going to put the disclaimer out. I can only speak from my lens and the lens of the clients that I have counseled.
Yeah.
You know, it comes from having to deal with so much, you know, having to constantly be on, having to constantly produce, and also this fear of making a mistake, you know, and having that attributed to me being incompetent, but then also carrying the torch of worrying that it's going to be attributed to other Black women if I fail.
Yeah.
If I fail, I don't want somebody to judge my other sisters based on my failure and not give them an opportunity. So I'm carrying that on my shoulders saying, you know, listen, Darcella, you're setting us up for the rest of the sisters to come behind you. You have to be on key. And again, that was not healthy for me. It did take its toll. It came to a head at one point in my life, what I shared with you offline. And I had to learn that I had to give myself permission.
Yeah.
I had to give myself permission. It starts there. You have to give yourself permission to say, I need to just be who I am in the moment and not worried about being on for anybody or performing for anybody. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
That's what leads to good mental health.
Yeah.
It really does. We have to give ourselves permission. As my grandma used to say, go somewhere and sit down and rest your brain.
Go sit down. Go sit down.
Go sit down.
Go sit down.
Go sit
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who sometimes I'll say to her, go have 2 seats. And she knows. If she's listening, she knows exactly who it is. Like, go have 2 seats. You thinking the most and doing the most
right now.
Rest your brain. Rest yourself. You know, because we got to do this. We got to do. Listen, rest yourself.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Give yourself some slack. So we got to sit. We got to breathe. We got to allow ourselves to be. We have to do that with any guilt, with any fear.
That's where I was going. Learn to sit down and do nothing without guilt or shame or someone telling you it's selfish. One of my best friend's mothers used to tell me, well, you know, Toya's selfish. She's always going to look out for herself. And I would laugh. I would laugh whenever she would say that. I'm like, you daggone right, I will. You are daggone right that I will always look out for me. My children are always going to be taken care of, but I will always, always, always look out for me. Making me the last person on my
Does
list
not
all the
work.
time and not doing anything for me. That is a no. That is a
I had to come to that,
Oh, no.
sis. I had to come to that space because I was taking care of people at a very young age, taking care of everyone else. And I felt like I had to make those sacrifices for them because, family can make you feel bad.
Yeah, they
'Cause
will.
You,
Family
make you,
will make you
fa-
feel
family
bad.
make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you better than da-da-da-da-da. And it's like I got to a point where I had to say, what about Darcella?
What about you?
And what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm in that space and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have been, so full transparency here because, most people know me, and for those that don't, I became a mother when I was 17.
Okay.
So I was still in high school. So it was my senior year of high school that I was, someone's mom. And so granted, went off to college, we got married, raised, had another child, the whole shebang. But by the time I had gotten divorced and was taking care of those two children on my own, finding time for me was a challenge because there was so much responsibility.
Yes.
There was so much responsibility, and I was young and trying to do it all on my own. And I got to a point one day, and thank God for my mother. Thank God for my mother. Thank God for my parents. I was raised in a 2-parent household. My mother and father till the day my father died. And I have the privilege of being able to take care of my mother right now. And I say privilege because I'm struggling with that. But I have the privilege of being able to take care of my mother right now. But thank God for my parents because I had the type of parents that lived life. And I had the type of parents that wanted me to live life. And that whole self-sacrifice thing, they didn't believe in that. My parents did not believe in that. They believed in taking care of yourself and enjoying life and having all of the experiences and doing all of the things that you should do so that you're not just here merely surviving.
Right. Right.
So that you are having life, having it more abundantly, and enjoying yourself and enjoying the life. And I thank God for the parents that I have, and I instill this into my children too. I thank God for the parents that I had that even while I had all of this responsibility, they still made a space for me to still be able to have some sort of quality of life.
Wow, that's amazing.
In the midst of that.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
And so I thank God for that. But the problem is, I feel like when it comes to black women, not enough of us have that.
Yeah.
We're told you're selfish if you are looking out for yourself. God forbid you are divorced or you never married. And then, now you have the narrative of, oh my God, she has a new hairdo. She's using child support money on that. Go get your own money for this. There's the narrative that, if she goes on a vacation, oh my God, look at her. Who's taking care of her children? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? If you see her out with her friends, I mean, she should be a mother. She should be at home.
with your kids.
She should be at home with your kids. You know what I mean? And it's like, when can we be? When can we be?
Yeah, we need that opportunity, and thank God for. I appreciate you sharing your story with your parents. Mine was a little different, and we can unpack it at another time. But I did share publicly for the first time. I think it was after the election. I think Tapping the Plainfield did an article on who is Darcella, and for the first time, I'm 55. In my life that I actually
35, but go ahead.
You're looking 35, right? I actually came out and shared publicly that I spent some time in the foster care system.
Oh, wow.
And so you talk about surviving, and there really is no rest there. I think that was the foundation of my lack of rest because you're always wondering where you're going next. It wasn't a large part of my life, but it was a part of my life. And I feel because it was so early in my life, it was very formative in terms of how I became, who I became as a woman. And that was, you got to take care of everything. You got to take care of everything. You got to take care of everything because you don't know what tomorrow holds. Well, guess what? I'm 55, I'm fabulous, and I still don't know what tomorrow holds. So, I'm past that at that point in time. To a certain extent, I'm not saying I'm at a place of utopia, but I'm working every day to just be.
But that's all that's all we can do.
Right, absolutely.
That's all we can do.
That's all we want everyone to do, our sisters to do.
Yeah.
But I also want to just add, we talk about having, good gatekeepers. You have to have somebody to help you unpack this.
Yep.
And so I recommend, and, some would say, well, you're a little biased because you're also a therapist. Yes, I am. But I do recommend that you go see somebody professionally if you are having some challenges with just being, and there's anxiety or depression associated with that you go and see somebody professional. Look, I'm a professional and I've seen somebody. That's how the process works.
I've been in therapy.
Yes.
I've been in therapy.
Right, so you got two of us right here who can attest to the value
There
of
is
it.
no way I would be able to get through this time period of my life right now without therapy. Absolutely no way.
Facts.
Absolutely no way if
Facts.
I wasn't in therapy.
And you can lean on your sister girls.
Yeah,
But
I have that too.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. If they ain't unpacked their luggage, then you just two people carrying luggage. So
the blind leading the blind.
Right, exactly. So, again, I recommend that you be able to unpack with someone professional, have that accountability partner, or, again, another sister girl who is a little further along in her journey who can help you. I say your accountability partner needs to ask you 4 questions every day.
Okay.
They need to ask you, did you eat?
Did you eat?
Did you eat?
Sis,
okay.
Did you eat?
And so I'm going to call this your therapy 101 session. Ask your friends these 4 things when you see that they're off. Okay. Did you eat?
Mm-hmm.
Did you drink water today?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very important. If you don't believe me, start aging and the cricking and the pain start coming. You better drink that water.
Right.
It'll save you some Advil later.
Right.
Did you sleep?
Mm-hmm.
We all need to act like we're newborns, right? Go back in the womb, get your 8 hours. Get your 8 hours. I'm going to tell you, I'm a different person when I get my rest. I am a napper.
I can't get anything under 8 hours.
Oh, okay. Good
I'm one of those
you.
people
Good
that
you,
if
sis.
I only sleep 5 hours one night, I'm not a good person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am not a good human being with only 5 hours of sleep. And I know most people live off of 4 or 5 hours. If I only get 4, 5, or 6 hours, I am not a good human being.
No.
And I'm going to let you know when I wake up and be like, I'm not good today. Please
Right.
just
Right.
give me some grace.
I'm right there with you. I know I'm a different person.
Yeah.
My personality is different. I'm a napper, and I have scheduled naps. And
I
my
napped
friends
before
know,
I came here.
don't call her during her nap.
Yeah.
Listen. So that's the rest that we're pushing upon you to consider. Please get your rest. But then the 4th thing is, not just did you get your sleep, but did you relax? And so there's a difference. Like sleep is sleep, but relax is, did you do something that's enjoyable to you, that takes your mind off of your worries of the day and puts you in a space where you feel fulfilled?
Yeah.
And it could be for some people arts and crafts. People have their own different hobbies, but did you relax? Because in that process, you're going to lower your blood pressure.
Absolutely.
So, make sure if you're going to be an accountability partner to your friends, please ask them, did you eat? Did you drink your water? Did you get your sleep last night? Make sure it was a decent amount. And then also, did you relax? Did you do something that brings you joy?
Yeah.
Poetry became my outlet.
Yeah.
Poetry became my outlet for dealing with the stuff that I carry throughout the day, which, shout out to Sweet 1111, Joy and Ray. They became my safe space. I'm there every 4th Friday of the month doing spoken word. And I put my pain on paper. And that's how I unpack it, So, but also
that's
get
your
my rest.
thing. Yeah, that's
Getting
your
my
thing.
rest.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, take naps. Because listen, the fact is your body will not make it without rest. You're like a whale trying to live on your front lawn. Whales can't live out of water, and we all can't live without rest. It's so important. And here's the one thing I'm going to say, and people may have issues with it, but I'm good with it. If you need pharmacological assistance, non-habit forming to get that rest, because some people's brains won't turn off.
Absolutely.
Okay? So there are a lot of non-habit forming prescriptions out there, talk to your physician.
Yeah.
I am not your physician. I am not your clinician. But talk to your physician and say, listen, I'm having trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
Let's unpack this. Like, most people won't tell their doctor that. Like, I'm having trouble sleeping. Listen, I had to get some help. And then the last thing I just want to say really quick is that don't forget prayer. Okay? And I'm not here to preach any doctrine, but I will say this. Prayer will bring you rest. So you pray to your higher power. That's going to help bring you rest and a peace. As we say in my tradition, a peace that passes all understanding. Surpasses all understanding. But that is what helps bring me rest. That is what helps allow me to get up the next day and go out there and do that fight and those microaggressions and so on and so forth. And to, again, set the example. Hopefully, I'm setting the example for the women who come after me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love all of that. And I love the fact that you broke down what rest should be in detail, because it sounds like, something that we should all know, but a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people just go and go and go and go and go, and then they end up in the hospital.
Right.
And then we end up with high blood pressure. And wasn't heart disease the number one killer in Black women?
Yes.
Heart disease, it stems from stress. It stems from not resting in the midst of the ing, doing everything.
Right.
And so you have to do it. I mean, it's imperative. And we're not talking about, oh, well, I'll go to sleep. You ever hear people say, oh, I'll go to sleep when I die?
Yes.
That just means you're going to die sooner.
Facts.
So you're right. You're right. You just going to go a lot sooner than later.
You in the
know what I
easy
mean?
pass lane.
Hey, go right ahead.
No,
If that's what you want to do.
Pass lane.
Right. I'll sleep when I die. That old adage is terrible.
No.
But anyway, I love that. I just want to read some of the comments from everybody who has been.
We got comments.
Tuning in. Esther was saying it does impact. I believe she was talking about what you were talking about for the city of Plainfield.
Oh, I know, Esther. Hey, Rev. Shout out to Rev.
She was saying it does impact. Aisha said, I want to live the soft life at least 5 minutes of my dang on life. Girl.
Yes.
Girl. She said the guilt part is hard. Taking time from what you think you could be doing is hard. The guilt you can feel is hard to get past sometimes. And then she said, my daughter asks me all the time if I ate. All day long.
That's good. That's good. You got a caretaker there.
Right. A
Big
caretaker
up to your daughter.
In your daughter. Over here, we had a bunch of people saying hello, hello, hello. A bunch of people calling you fine. Yes.
Don't start none, won't be none.
They're saying congratulations and
thank
salute to you on all the awards. Let's see, big facts and talking about vulnerability over here. So allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Yeah, in a vulnerable space.
That's another topic for us. Vulnerability.
Yep. Yeah. That is definitely going to be another topic. I needed this today because there are times where you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you don't know what to do in the face of it. And honestly, the answer is to never keep going harder.
Right.
It's never to do that. It's never, well, maybe if I do more, these circumstances in this situation could potentially change. But when it's a mental and emotional tired, doing more is never the answer.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? If this is a task or if it's a project, that is something different. But when your soul is tired, when you are mentally and emotionally drained, doing more is never the answer. Doing more to help someone else is never the answer. Doing more to keep yourself busy so that you don't have to deal with what's going on in your life is never the answer. The answer is not, you really have to take a step back from what's going on, allow yourself to rest. And like you said, whatever higher power it is that you believe in, I'm good old fashioned Jesus Christ, but for everyone else, whether you're Muslim or whether it is that you believe in aliens, the universe, whatever it is that people believe in, whatever it is you felt like your creator is or created you, the space to enact your faith is when you feel overwhelmed.
Yes.
And you have to take a step back and you have to say, okay, I can't do anything about this right now. This is bothering
Turn
me.
it over.
I don't know what to do. I have to give this to you. I have to give this up because there is nothing that I can do. You see the need. You know the end from the beginning. I have to give it to you because there's nothing else that I can do. But again, the answer is to never, ever do more. You have to fight and do whatever it is that you can do to get that rest. Fight for your rest because that is your mental and emotional well-being.
Make it a priority.
Yeah.
I mean, take 30 minutes of your day. Sit in a big chair, breathe in, breathe out. Have a cup of water. Don't have your cell phone next to you. Guess what? In 30 minutes, the world going to be okay. Okay. So I challenge all the listeners to run tell that. Take 30 minutes and just get some relaxation and get some rest and know that there's a difference between the two.
Yep. All right. So when you coming back?
Listen, sis, whenever you have me.
When are you coming back?
Listen, when
Because-
sis call, when you call, it's all good.
Okay, all right, yeah, because we got to have you back because, we got to talk more about this safety. We got to talk more about vulnerability. We have so much more that we have to get into and so much more that we have to talk about. So my hope is that we can do that sometime soon. Okay. Sometime soon we got to have you back. And by then you'll probably have 3 or 4 other awards between
I don't know about that.
between today and then the next time you come back. But thank you so much for being here. Every single time you come here, it is an absolute blessing.
Oh, thank you.
An absolute blessing. Literally, from the moment you come in the door, you sit down and we start talking, and I'm like, yep, yep, this is what it was supposed to be.
Divine confirmation.
It is. It's always divine confirmation, and because I always get something from our conversations. Always. There is not one time that you have left here and I haven't gotten something from it that has carried me into everything else that I need to deal with. So
It's
thank
mutual,
you.
sis.
Thank you.
It's mutual.
Thank you
so
that.
much.
All right, listen, I love you all for watching and I love you all for listening and everybody that chimed in, whether it was on YouTube. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get to YouTube tonight, but whether it was on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, however it was, if you're listening on TuneIn, thank you so much. God willing, I will be here next week, same time, same place, different show, and
Go get
be
rest.
well.
Go
get your rest. We're on this healing journey. That's a part of it. See you later, everybody. Toodles. Take us away, Jeff.